Alright, welcome. This is going to be an Allied ranked game for Axis and Allies Online. My opponent for this game is Joel, who at the time of this game was the 30th ranked Platinum Axis player. For this game, I decided to try a strategy I've never used before, which is to put an industrial complex in Brazil and see if I could use that to get USA armor into Africa and then into the Middle East. So let's see how that worked out. And with that, let's get right into the gameplay. Alright, Russia round number 1. So I still haven't found a better opening round purchase than 4 infantry and 2 tanks for Russia. So that's what we're going with. And then we're going to do the standard 912 because, again, I still haven't found a more beneficial strategy to Russia round 1. I really am going to, I think in future games, start looking for a better strategy for Russia because I feel like I just get hammered lots of times with Russia and I don't have a lot of success with Russia. So we're going to try to come up with something, but for right now we're just going to continue with the 912 standard attacks in Ukraine and West Russia. Send these 2 guys over to Archangel. This guy over to Evenki. These guys are going to go back. And these guys are going to go that way. And then I'll send him there and I'll send him there. What we're going to do is we're going to get the Germans to go and land in the Caucasus, which they will. They may actually stack it with what, 2 tanks? They can put 3 tanks and an infantry guy in there. Alright, if they want to do 3 tanks and an infantry, that's fine. Oh, we got to move our sub. But if the idea is if he's going to go up here and take Ukraine with this stuff here, he may just blitz the tanks and then use this stuff to take trans. Excuse me. But we'll have to see what he's going to do. Not a huge fan of leaving the Caucasus completely open, but it is what it is. So for now, we're just going to throw everything in Russia. Alright, United Kingdom round number 1. So, Germany had an outstanding round 1. They lightly took the Caucasus with 1 guy. Went ahead and bought a bomber. Let's see here. Bought a bomber, 5 infantry, a tank, and 2 artilleries. They ended up stacking Karelia with 9 infantry and 4 tanks. Put 5 tanks in Baltic. Had an excellent C-Zone 7, have a cruiser left over. They bought their bomber, they threw it in Italy. They have 6 fighters in Northwestern, so I cannot build a fleet for United Kingdom. So I'm going to try to do my Indian Ocean play where I try to save my fleet with the United Kingdom. So I went ahead and bought a fighter, a bomber, and a tank. And that's going to go various places, mostly in India. So for our combat, we are going to attack this, and attack this, and attack this. We are going to take these two guys and try to take New Guinea. And the idea behind this whole range here is we're going to try to save our fleet in Sea Zone 30, and we're going to try to give Japan too many targets to use their planes on, so they don't hit Pearl Harbor with any strength. Russia's in a terrible way already. We're going to have to make a decision if we're going to try to take Karelia and just hang on for dear life. We've got to get as many support units as we can back to Russia, but I don't know how long we're going to last. So we're going to need to start making landings as soon as possible in Europe, and I don't know how UK is going to do that with the threat of this Air Force here, but we're going to work on it. Wait a minute here. I got to use one of the fighters there, and we're going to kill the transport with the other one. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Not a whole lot of moving parts for UK round 1. Let's see how that works. All right. All right, combat was decent. We didn't lose anybody. So, took New Guinea without a loss and killed the cruiser in Sea Zone 7 without a loss. So that's pretty fantastic. We're going to land this fighter in Iceland. We're going to land this fighter back on the UK. Our bomber is going down here to Africa to meet this guy here. We're going to grab our tank here. We're going to go down to Sea Zone 23. Land it in Africa, take our cruiser, put it in 23 to protect our transport. We're going to consolidate our fleet. So our submarine, our cruiser, our aircraft carrier, sorry about that. Our aircraft carrier and our cruiser and our fighter from Sea Zone 35 and our fighter from Egypt goes down into Sea Zone 30. Our destroyer is going to go to 35. We're going to grab 2 dudes. We're going to go to 29 and drop them off in Madagascar. And then we're going to take we're going to do this. We're going to take all these guys. Actually, no. And put them in trans. And we'll take this guy and put him in trans as well. All right. I think that's it. All right. All right, our bomber goes into India, our fighter, and our tank all go into India. All right, that is going to be the end of UK round 1. And I'll see you guys back for USA round number 1. All right, United States round 1. So, Japan, a couple things happened with Japan. Japan bought a fighter, a bomber, and a destroyer. And they put them, the bomber and the fighter in Japan and the destroyer in C-Zone 62, which is right here, right? But a couple things happened. He ended up taking Yunnan. He took Anhui. He took Biri, all of which are good for him. But the big one here is he failed the attack on C-Zone 30. Tried to take out my mini fleet and failed. Lost 4 fighters, an aircraft carrier, and a battleship. Huge battle here that he lost. And it eliminated half of Japan's fighters. So that's really good for me. Now, I'm trying different things with the Allies, right, logistically. So one of the new strategies that I'm trying is I bought an industrial complex and aircraft carrier and a fighter. All right, the industrial complex is going in Brazil. And the reason for that is this. If you're going to drop... The biggest drawback with USA, they have so much money getting land units into Europe and Asia, right? That's the hardest thing, is getting as many land units as possible. So sometimes you go through Africa, right? So you can drop them down into Morocco. In this case, Germany's got 6 fighters here and a bomber in Rome. So I can't protect C-Zone 13. There's no way. Now I can take this stuff, which I'm going to do actually, and drop it in Africa this turn. But in order to get 4 units in Africa every single turn, you have to have 4 active transports, because you have to have 2 in C-Zone 11 and 2 in C-Zone 23 if you're going to shuck that way. If I put an IC in Brazil, I only need 2 transports active, and I can land 3 units every single turn into Africa. So I'm using 2 less transports, and I'm landing only 1 less guy. And the idea behind that is to get enough United States material funneled through Africa into the Middle East and try to save India. This is going to be rough because I had such a dreadful Ukraine that Russia's going to be hard pressed early. So I really got to make landings as soon as possible. It's going to be difficult to do with his 6 fighters here. So, but one other thing that happened is because, okay, he took out my transport, but because he lost his navy here, and he didn't do Pearl Harbor as a result. So I can now take all of this material and put it in C-Zone 45. And the reason for that is not to do a KJF, but that means in round 2, I can have 2 U.S. fighters into India. I bought an additional fighter that I'm going to throw in Western United States, which means in round 3, I'll have another fighter. And if I have enough money with USA, I'll keep doing that and sending fighters, as many as I can, until Japan's Navy decides to come down here and drive me out of here. The more fighters I can get into India from USA, the stronger I can make the defense of India. So that's going to be the idea behind the strategy. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Who knows? But we're going to try it anyway. So I'm going to grab these 2 guys, go down here, take the Solomons, take my battleship and bombard, take my fighter and attack. Let's see. Wait a minute. Let me see about my fighter here. If my fighter attacks, 2 fuels, 1, 2. Okay, so he should be okay. But this fighter on Hawaii cannot attack, because he'll only have 1 fuel remaining. So I don't want to do that. Right? Right. All right. And that's going to be it for the United States attack, believe it or not. United States opening round is more about setting up logistics and less about attacking stuff. So that is going to be the only thing I do as far as attack this turn. So let's get it done. All right, we took the Solomons primarily just to prevent Japanese bombers from having a landing spot, right? So this fighter's going into 45. Our aircraft carrier's going into 45. This fighter here is going into 45. Our destroyer is going into 45, and our sub will go into 45 as well. This destroyer will go into 44 to protect the battleship, even though all he's got really is bombers. Okay. Our cruiser's going into C-Zone 11. We're going to pick up our tank, our artillery, and 2 guys. We're going to go down to 23, drop them in Africa. We're going to take our destroyer down here to protect. We're going to take our bomber and fly it to England. We're going to move our Central American, or our Midwest American guy over to the East Coast. We're going to fly this fighter into C-Zone 11 and this fighter into C-Zone 11 because we bought an aircraft carrier. And then this fighter here is going to go into Russia. These 2 guys are going to back off into Kazakh. One, two, three, four. Okay, so the bomber can get there. 5, 6. How about this bomber? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he can attack this with 2 bombers. If he wants to. And he might do that. Maybe he'll do that. But hopefully I can kill his bombers. Like I said, this is not a KJF. I'm just using this to get a springboard to get as many fighters as I can over to India. And then I'm going to back out. Sail away. So, I think that's it. Alright. We throw our industrial complex in Brazil. We throw our aircraft carrier in C-Zone 11. We throw our fighter in Western United States. And that is it for America. Round number 1. And I'll see you guys back for Russia round number 2. Alright, Russia round number 2. So, Russia. Russia's kind of in a bad way. All we did was buy 8 infantry. And we banked 2 IPCs. If all goes well, we'll have 27 at the end of this turn. And we can buy 9 infantry next turn to try to keep Russia alive as long as possible. So, for the combat, we ran the numbers. We're going to hit the Caucasus. We're going to hit Karelia. The reason I did that, well, I don't even need to do that, but so we're going to hit this, and then we're going to actually hit Caucasus with everything else. So that Germany can't produce guys here. It's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough. We may be dead sooner than later. But we do have 2 bombers in range of the Med. Hopefully we'll be able to kill his battleship next turn. And so we can clear that up. And then once we get Africa established, we'll be alright. So let's run the combat here and hope it works out. Okay. Russia doesn't need to worry about defending any sea zones because I never have a navy. Alright, let's run it. Let's see how it works. Alright, pretty good round of combat. We're going to move that guy out of there. This guy's going to Archangel. These three guys are going to Evenki. We'll move our AA gun. Oh, you know what? Let's move it up here to Karelia. I know it's going to die, but at least when he attacks with his fighters, if he attacks with his fighters, he may lose. He may lose one. So he is going to take. Well, I mean, he could. We'll see what he does. I'm pretty sure he's going to take West Russia back for sure. Well, I know he'll take that for sure. But I don't think he can take all three of these. I could be wrong. Because this is going to be a walk away one guy. So maybe he takes one from there and then hits this with everything else. Although a good number of my stuff survived here, so that's pretty good. That was an above average result. So, but I got nothing left. So Russia's on its last legs already. Throw our 8 infantry into Russia. And that will conclude Russia round number 2. And I'll see you guys back for United Kingdom round number 2. Alright, United Kingdom round number 2. So, we're way behind. This front looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad, but I think it looks worse than it actually is. So, I think we're going to be... I'm not going to say that we're going to be okay, but I think we're not going to be as bad as we could be. So, Germany bought 7 infantry, 3 artilleries, and 2 tanks. He mobilized an infantry and an artillery into Italy, 2 tanks and 5 infantry, and a couple artilleries into, or 2, 6, and 2 into Germany. He ended up taking West Russia, Caucasus, and Karelia, which we figured he would. And he's set up now. He's going to hit Africa again, probably. Put one guy in Egypt, but that's because we backed off of it. So we have to figure out a way to counterpunch, right? I can't drop a fleet yet. I don't have enough. He's got 5 fighters and a bomber that could hit any of my stuff here. And so we don't have enough money to put down a fleet that can be effective yet. So we went ahead and bought 2 tanks and an infantry for India, and then 2 more fighters for United Kingdom. I'm going to try to get a chain of fighters going into the Soviet Union so we can protect it as long as possible. And I'm going to put some armor in India, make it a little bit less attractive, and then at some point when we bounce out of India, which we're going to have to probably sooner than later in this game, we'll have some punch to most likely stopgap Japan. The only thing we're going to do for our combat is we're going to take back Egypt. So we're going to hit Egypt with our 2 bombers and our 2 infantry. And that is all. All right. And of course we got to hit back in Egypt. So our 2 bombers are going to go back to India. Our tank's going to go to India. These guys are going to go to Persia. This guy's going to move forward. Our tank's going to move forward. We're going to send a fighter into Russia. This fighter's going to go to Iceland. Our destroyer is going to go to Sea Zone 10. And our cruiser's going to go to... Actually, our cruiser's going to stay there, I think. Because it can get to 8 anyway. We're going to pick up these guys. Move over here, drop them in South Africa. And then our cruiser and our aircraft carrier will go... into 28. And then this infantry, I'm going to back them off. This guy will go to Western Canada or Eastern Canada. Our transport here is going to go. It's going to stay there. It's fine there. Because we're going to use it to take France, most likely. All right. Not a whole lot of moving parts for United Kingdom. Oh, what about this fighter here? Do I want to leave it there? I'll put it in Russia. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. All right. All right. Our 2 fighters are going to England. Our 2 tanks and our infantry are going to India. All right. That is going to be the end of United Kingdom round number 2. And I'll see you guys back for USA round number 2. All right, USA round number 2. So Japan bought 2 submarines, an infantry, and an artillery. Probably anticipating a KJFs, considering I left my fleet here and I took the Solomons. Even though that's not what I was doing, I was actually just looking for a platform in 45 to get fighters over here to India quicker. And I was going to keep shuffling. I was going to have a supply route of fighters from USA over to India. But he was able to use 2 bombers and kill my battleship. Amazingly enough, my battleship, my destroyer, my transport, and didn't lose anybody. Oh, no, he lost a sub. He did lose a sub. That's kind of amazing. But that's the way it happened. So because of that, we're going to shift gears a little bit. And we are going to send the fighters to India, but the rest of the fleet's going to move out of here and go join the Atlantic fleet. So, and because we're behind the 8 ball here, Japan is already advancing towards Russia. So we're going to probably have to bounce out of India within a turn or two. Probably sooner than later, which kind of sucks. This looks really bad, but it's probably not as bad as it looks. It depends. So all we did was we bought a tank. I'm sorry, 2 tanks and an infantry for the Brazil IC, and then we bought an infantry and 2 artilleries and 2 transports, right, for the east coast of the United States. So, as for the combat, this is going to be the tricky one. We're going to try to take the Caucasus back. If we can take the Caucasus back, then it'll be a much... Or even if we can just kill the guys, it'll be a much easier time for Russia. So, hopefully we can get that done. And then we'll get ready. We'll be down here. We'll be within range of France with enough stuff. Hopefully, that next turn we can go up there and maybe drop a fleet, which would be nice. So let's see how that works. I think that's the only combat we want to do this turn. Yep, I think so. All right, let's run the combat. Okay, the combat was fantastic. We got the best result possible. We didn't lose anybody. So our fighter will go back to Russia. Our bomber will go to Russia. We'll send these 2 fighters to India. Our fleet will then move to 41. We will send... Let's see here. Okay. Send our transports to 22. We'll send our cruiser to 23. Our aircraft carrier. And let's see here. One of our fighters is going to go to Iceland. And the other one will go down here. And then this fighter will go down here. Oops. All right. All right. All right, I think that's everything. We want to move. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, our tank will go into Anglo-Egypt, Sudan, and then our other stuff's going to move forward. All right, now that will be the end of America round number 2. Let's mobilize our transports, mobilize our 2 tanks and our infantry, and then we'll mobilize our infantry and our 2 artilleries. And that will be the end of America round number 2, and we'll move on to Russia round 3. All right, Russia round number 3. So because our American attack in the Caucasus was successful, we're good to deploy there. So we just went ahead and we had 27 IPCs. We bought 9 infantry. We're just going to try to withhold as long as possible. We have a mini punch here if Japan moves here. I probably need maybe 2 more infantry there. I probably should have moved about 2 more infantry, but I didn't. So we'll see what happens there. So we bought the 9 infantry. All we're going to do is we're going to attack West Russia with 2 guys and our 2 fighters. And hope we take it. All right. Our fighters are going down to the Caucasus. Our 3 guys here are going to move to Vologda. This guy here is going into the Caucasus. And we're going to leave our 6 guys there. We're going to deploy 4 infantry in the Caucasus and 5 infantry into Russia. Alright, we have 21 IPCs. We can buy 7 infantry next turn. And that's going to conclude Russia round 3. I'll see you guys back for United Kingdom round number 3. Alright, United Kingdom round number 3. So, Germany, all they bought was 13 infantry and a fighter. The fighter and infantry went to Italy. 10 infantry went to Germany. And 2 infantry went to Karelia. And then he moved back here with his battleship and his transport because they're going to keep going after Africa, which is fine. I need to set up something in Persia here so that I can defend Kazakh when he moves his stuff there. So what we did was we bought a tank, 2 infantry to go to India, and then 2 more fighters to go to the United Kingdom. We're not ready to drop a fleet, but probably next turn we can drop a fleet. We got all this stuff that's going to come north, so we just got to hang on. We just got to repel the Axis for a couple more turns to get everybody in place, and we'll start just bombarding Europe with landings. But the only combat we're going to do is we're going to take Egypt back, and we're going to put our bombers in the Caucasus at the end of this turn, so that we can hit this, and maybe with I wish I had a sub, but I don't have one, so we'll see if I want to risk. I don't really want to risk just the bombers against the battleship yet. I need to figure out how to get somebody in range of that to deal with that. But that's all the combat we're going to do this turn. Alright, combat was effective. So we're going to send our bombers to the Caucasus. Move our South Africa guys up. Our transport's going to go to 23. Our cruiser to 25. And our aircraft carrier to 25. This cruiser is going to go up to 10. Our fighter from Iceland is going to go to Moscow. Our 2 fighters from United Kingdom are going to go to Iceland. And then 2 infantry are going to go into Persia. And our transport here is going to go up to 10 as well. It's slow going, but we're actually getting our UK stuff where they need to be, so. And I'm not going to move this fighter. I was going to, but I think I'm going to leave it there. Gotta see what Japan has to attack with. We'll see. Alright. Definitely, though, we're going to take Ukraine to protect Caucasus here. It's going to be interesting. I could fly my bombers back here, but I want to be able to fly them back to England if I need to. So I'm going to put them in the Caucasus. Alright, let me finish my non-com. Watch for bombers in France, and watch for fighters. Okay. We've done that. Alright. Alright, so our mobilization, we're going to throw a tank and 2 infantry in India, and 2 fighters are going into United Kingdom. Alright, that is going to be the end of United Kingdom round number 3. And I'll see you guys back for USA round 3. Alright, United States round number 3. So Japan bought 2 transports, 4 artillery, 4 infantry, and artillery and a tank. Put them all in mainland Japan. He then pushed forward. And now he's right up against my Russian back door here. So I have to somehow drive them back off of this. And we got to keep getting troops down here. So our purchases were 2 tanks, 6 infantry, and artillery, and another transport, right? So for our combat move, we're going to take our 2 guys, use our bomber, our fighter, and 1 more fighter from India to attack that. We're just hoping to clear this. We're going to use England to clear this, and we're going to use Russia to clear this. Which really sucks, but it is what it is. I don't really have any more alternatives. that I can think of. That's pretty much all the combat for America. So let's get that done. Alright. Combat was great. We didn't lose anybody, which is nice. So we will send one plane back to India, one to Russia. We'll put our bomber. Where do we want to put our bomber? We'll put our bomber back in Russia also. Then we'll fly our Iceland fighter over here to Russia. We're going to move this stuff up here to Canada. Move our 2 transports up here to Sea Zone 10. We're going to move our fleet up to 22 here. We are going to pick up our 2 tanks and our infantry. We're going to go to 23 and drop them in French West Africa. We're going to move our 2 infantry and our artillery forward. And I think that's it. Yep, I think that's it. Alright. Alright, for our mobilization, we're going to throw 2 tanks and an infantry into Brazil. We're going to throw a transport into Sea Zone 11. We're going to throw an artillery and 1 infantry into Eastern United States, and we're going to throw 4 infantry into Western United States. That's basically because if he does the old Alaska play, we'll have some stuff here that we can combat it with. So that's why we did that. And that will be the end of America round number 3, and we'll move on to Russia round 4. Alright, Russia round number 4. So we had a pretty good showing with America. Obviously, the only thing we did with Russia was buy 7 infantry. We need to make sure that we block this so he can't just blitz in here. It's not that important right now because we're not going to try to stack West Russia. So it doesn't really matter at this point. For this turn anyway, we're going to trade. Looks like we're going to trade West Russia for a couple turns. We will take Ukraine with 1 guy. And then we will take 4 guys. Let's see, 4 guys. Let's do this here. Yeah, we can do those 3 guys and 1 guy from Russia. And our fighters. We're going to have to make sure we defend Vologda as well. He doesn't have enough yet to do a full can opener with his 1 tank. So even if Germany were to push in here, Japan would attack Russia with 1 tank. And let's see, 2 fighters and 2 bombers. And against... I should have, let's see, 1 and 1, that's 8. I should have 15 guys and 4 fighters and 6 fighters and ooh, I got to worry about this now too. 12 guys and 4 fighters ought to be enough. I should deploy more guys in here. 4 and 3 maybe. We'll have to see. All right. Let's run the combat. This is a tough battle here. It says I should take it on the calculator, 98%. 92 to conquer. But it's going to be rough. So we'll have to see. Hopefully we do take it. Alright, so that worked out. We lost one guy. Sometimes I think we should have taken less guys, but you can't hit this with any tanks. He can go one tank. Actually, he can if he takes a tank and a guy and a battleship. Let's put our planes back here. We'll put one guy there, and we'll put one guy into Vologda. And then we'll have 7 guys, 2 fighters, and 2 bombers there. That should be enough if Germany wants to go and hit it. They'll probably go and take Ukraine. Which you can even probably stack Ukraine a little bit. And then West Russia next turn after that. I need to start making landings as soon as possible, but it doesn't look good so far. Alright. Alrighty. We're going to mobilize 3 infantry into the Caucasus and 4 infantry into Russia. And that is the end of Russia round number 4. And I will see you guys back for United Kingdom round number 4. Alright, United Kingdom round number 4. So Germany, all they bought was 15 infantry. Because the early battles took away a lot of his infantry. And then he took Ukraine, West Russia, Archangel, and Trans, and Egypt. He took a lot of stuff. I need to start landings here immediately so that I can get his attention pulling back. I don't know if I can do it because I think I'm in a bad way here, but I'm going to go ahead and try to drop a fleet. I bought an aircraft carrier and a destroyer and 3 infantry for India. And then we're going to move all this stuff here and some of our Americans up here to protect it from the 6 fighters and a bomber that he has. It's going to be tight, but we're going to try it anyway. So for the combat move, and then I'm going to set up a lot of aircraft in Persia because I want to kill this damn battleship once and for all. I'm tired of it. So we're going to see what we can do there. I wish I could keep the Caucasus, but I can't. I really wish I could keep the Caucasus. But I don't have enough stuff to do it. So if my fighters are here, they're still not going to be able to get over there. If they're here, 1, 2, 3. No. So he can still move to 15 and avoid my my stuff for a turn. But we'll see. Maybe we can change that. Because I'll have fighters here that I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that might be the play. Alright. That's for another turn. So, for the combat, we're going to take 2 infantries. Wait a minute. I'm going to do 2 infantries. No. 2 infantries. We'll take an infantry there and artillery there. We're going to take the bombers there. We're going to take the fighter there. We're going to take the 2 fighters there. And we're going to grab this dude here, go to Sea Zone 8, and take Northwest Europe. Just because it's free. And I think that's it. Yep, I think that's it. All right. Strong, okay. Wow, everyone hit. That's amazing. Okay, for the non-combat move, this is important. So, our fighters going back to India. Our bombers are going to go to Persia. 4 infantry are going to go into Persia. And these 2 fighters are going to go into Persia. These 2 fighters from Iceland are going into Russia. Alright, now, these 2 fighters are going into Sea Zone 8. Our destroyer, our cruiser, also into Sea Zone 8. This transport will go into Sea Zone 8. Our cruiser and our aircraft carrier will go here into 23. Man, this is going to be tight. All right. All right, that's going to do it for, I believe, my non-com. All right. 3 infantry into India. Our destroyer into Sea Zone 8. And our aircraft carrier into Sea Zone 8. And of course, right after we finished our moves, he went offline. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. So that's going to be it for United Kingdom round number 4. All right, United States round number 4. So Japan went ahead and bought an industrial complex for East Indies. He bought 4 infantry, 2 artilleries, and a transport for Japan. And this is really illustrating the danger of leaving the Pacific wide open, right? So if you flee and you leave Japan, the entire Pacific, where there's no threat from the United States or really England to do anything, they can just steamroll towards Russia. And now they're just enveloping me out. They're on my doorstep. They don't have a ton of actual units, you know, a handful here and there, but it's enough because Russia is just so far under the gun that that it's going to be hard pressed for me to defend. But I do have an opportunity here. I'm not sure quite how the Brazil thing is working out, but we do have an opportunity here if the dice go well to really make an impact and see if this is going to be viable to get units into the mainland here. So we went ahead and bought 2 tanks and an infantry for Brazil again. And then we bought 2 infantry and a transport for Eastern United States and a bomber for Eastern United States, just to give us a little bit more attack power and range. And then we're only going to do 2 attacks. One of the attacks is going to be trying to kill this battleship. So we're going to use 2 fighters and a bomber to kill it, and then we're going to use a tank, an artillery, and 2 infantry and try to take Egypt. And God willing, we kill this thing in one hit. That would be great. I dread sending fighters, but it is what it is. So we're going to do it and see if it works. And I don't think any of my other fighters can range it, so we're not going to do it. I just need to make sure that I move my United States stuff here for defense so that I don't lose my UK Navy before it even starts. And then he's got a Japanese bomber here in Karelia, which can reach Sea Zone 2. So I got to make sure I don't put any unprotected transports there, which I'm not planning to do. But that's the only 2 attacks the United States are doing. So let's run them and see how they work out. All right. All right, combat was mixed. We were able to kill the battleship and the transport, which is great. But we lost a fighter and a bomber in doing so. And then this battle here in Egypt just took 5 rounds to get 2 hits. It was pretty ridiculous, but it ended up working out. Now, is he going to attack this with his bomber and that? Maybe, I don't know. But hopefully he won't be able to reinforce anymore, and we will have reinforcements coming. So we're going to move our tanks forward and our infantry forward. Now here's where it gets tricky. We are going to move these 2 transports back here, pick up these 2 tanks, pick up an infantry, go back to 23, drop them in French West Africa. We are going to send a destroyer, a cruiser, an aircraft carrier, and the 2 fighters to Sea Zone 8. I'm going to send our submarine to 27. And we'll send our destroyer over here to Sea Zone 23 and our aircraft carrier to 23. We're going to move these guys up. And then we're going to move our Alaska guy back 1. We're going to add 1 guy to Canada. And then I think that's it. Yep, okay, I think that's it. Alright, so that's going to be the end of our non-com move. Let's see. USAC, 2 fighters, a cruiser, and a destroyer. What did I move here? Aircraft carrier, destroyer, cruiser, and 2 fighters. Alright. Alright, so that's good. Alright. Alright. 2 tanks and an infantry go into Brazil. A transport and 2 infantry go into Eastern United States, and a bomber also goes into Eastern United States. Alright, that's going to be it for United States round number 4. Alright, Russia round number 5. USA, I think, had a decent turn. We did lose a lot of material, but we kicked pretty much kicked Germany out of Africa, but Japan is just pressing really hard. I think I'm going to lose India, which is not good. And Russia's in a bad way. So I'm going to leave this Kazakh to UK again to take it out. And then I'm going to use... we're going to take West Russia, and we're going to try to take Novo. So he doesn't have any artillery to pair with his infantry when he attacks, if he attacks. And I'm just going to try to get as many fighters as I can into Russia over the next coming turns, which I think I can get. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe 8 fighters. Maybe even more if I can start building them with America. All right. So what we're going to do is we did some math. We're going to do 4 infantry and 1 fighter at West Russia to try to take that. And then we're going to do 3 infantry and the other fighter to try to kill his artillery. And hopefully those will go well. All right. Okay, combat was outstanding. We didn't lose a single infantry in our West Russia attack, which is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. We did lose one in Novo, but that's still a fantastic result. It's just an awesome result, given. So it's going to take at least some material, I would think, to take both of these territories. Because I'm going to leave 2 infantry in, wait a minute. I'm just going to move 1. I'm going to leave 2 infantry in the Caucasus, so he has to at least spend 2 infantry, maybe 3 infantry to try to take it back. At least risk that many. And then United Kingdom's going to take Kazakh for me. He still can hit Russia with... Let's see, how many planes does he have in range now? A little bit less. Where did they go? Oh, because they went up there. So they actually have some... So he got 3 bombers? No. He's still got a decent amount that can hit it, but... we're looking a little bit better. We're staying alive a little bit. So we're going to throw all 6 of our guys in Russia. Right, so we'll have 16. We'll have a pretty good Russia defense for at least a turn. Man, I would have liked to have stacked the Caucasus, but I'm not going to be able to. But that's okay. It's a good turn for Russia, all things considered. And we just got to make sure we can try to get America, if we can try to get the American armor into the Middle East, that would be fantastic if we could do that. So we'll see. The fate of this still has yet to be determined. But once we start making landings here, at least we'll annoy him. He's going to have to think twice about that. Japan is still pushing. And we got to figure out a way to make some inroads on that. Maybe we'll plop a navy down at 56 just to make them think twice. But I don't know if we'll be able to do that. So anyway, that's long-winded Russia round number 5. And I'll see you guys back for United Kingdom round number 5. All right, United Kingdom round number 5. So Germany bought 13 infantry and 2 artilleries. He took Northwestern back. He took Egypt back. He marched into West Russia, took the Caucasus. So he's pushing forward, and Japan's pushing forward. We're pretty much squeezed. We did do a little bit of math, and I can hold India for one more turn. So my India defense can hold for one more turn if I set it up right. So, but we're going to start doing landings, and I think I want to try to set up for a round 7 landing in the Caucasus with 12 U.S. troops, which would be a nice stack. But I'm going to have to see how that pans out. I got to set it up in round 5, 6, and 7 to be able to land in the Caucasus in round 7. So we'll see how that works out. But it's going to take a little bit of working. But right now he's given us France and Northwestern, so we're going to take both of those. So let's get that done. So we're going to take 1 infantry and take France. And then we're going to take 1 infantry and 1 artillery. Drop them in Northwestern, take our 2 fighters. Hit Northwestern, take our cruiser. Bombard Northwestern. Alright, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. We're going to take our 2 guys. And we're going to take a bomber. And I only need, what do I need? 4 fighters in India. So the 5th fighter. So this fighter here, 1, 2. Put it here. Or I could land it here. We could put it back in Persia. We don't want to because there's going to be nothing there. I kind of want to use 2 bombers. We're going to use 1 guy here, 1 fighter, and 1 bomber. Let's use the artillery. But if we use the artillery, then this plane will be by itself. But really, if he jumps over here with enough units, he can kill 1 artillery and 1 guy and 1 plane. So if he wants to kill the plane, the American fighter, so be it. But he may want to jump over here and go to Egypt. We'll see what he does. I think he's just gonna, that would be a waste of his troops, but you never know. Alright, so now we're gonna take 3 guys and 2 fighters and hit Kazakh, and we're gonna take 2 planes and 1 guy and hit the Caucasus. Hopefully we just kill this guy. Russia can take this if it wants. Actually, let's do this here. Let's do 2 guys and 2 guys. Right? All right. All right. Or did I say what I bought? I don't think so. I bought 8 infantry and a transport, 3 infantry for India, 5 for United Kingdom, and an extra transport. So we'll have 6 units to transport next turn. And of course he hit. Alright. Alright, we made a profit. So, our bombers are going to return to India. This fighter will go to India. These 2 fighters will go to India. 1 fighter will go to India, and the other one will go to Russia. What else? Oh yeah, our fighters will go back to Sea Zone 8. I'm not sure what else to do here. I think that's it. Right? Yeah, I think so. Alright. Alright, our transport goes into 8. 3 infantry into India and 5 infantry into United Kingdom. Alright, that's going to be it for United Kingdom round number 5, and I'll see you guys back for USA round number 5. Alright, USA round number 5. So Japan, they just bought 6 infantry, 2 artillery, a fighter, and a tank. Mobilized it all. I'm sorry, they mobilized some of it into the 2 artilleries into East Indies, and they mobilized the rest of the stuff into Japan. They retook these territories again. They took them light. They're basically just tightening the noose, and then they bounced over here. Took Australia. They'll probably hop over here, take these islands back. Take Hawaii at their leisure because I have nothing in the Pacific. I'm thinking that this industrial complex in Brazil might just be a bust. It just doesn't look like it's really doing anything. So, I mean, we have put units in Africa, but I'm not sure if that even is making a difference. We have to start landing in here, so I'm planning on landing here with United Kingdom and America next turn. But for this turn, we don't really have any combat. We just don't... There's really nothing for us to... we could take Morocco, but we'd have to shuffle around some ships, and I don't want to shuffle them around because I want them to go up to Sea Zone 2 next turn when I start landings. So... And he's already got 10 extra guys on his way to Baltic. So, I don't think this is going to be great, but we're going to try it anyway. So, no combat. Alright, for the non-com, our fighters going into Russia. Our 2 tanks are going into Trans. Our infantry will go into Sudan, along with 2 more tanks. We're going to move 2 tanks and another infantry over to French West Africa. We're going to move our aircraft carrier to Sea Zone 8. We're going to pick up this stuff here. going to go to Sea Zone 8 and drop our stuff in England. We're going to move to 10, and we're going to move these two guys up to Canada. We're going to leave our bomber here for now because in case he does decide to come back to Alaska, we'll have a bomber there. Actually, let me see if I can get the bomber in the range of something else. Alright, let's throw the bomber in French West Africa, and our sub will go forward as well. And let's see. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, this is getting kind of rough. All right, our 2 transports. And we're going to put 2 infantry. And we're going to throw 2 tanks there, and we're going to throw 2 infantry in Brazil. Just so we can get some armor up here when we do finally land. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's just do 4 infantry there. And we'll put the 2 tanks in Brazil. Alright. Alright. That's going to be it for America. Round number 5. And we'll move on to Russia, round 6. Alright, Russia, round number 6. So, all we had money enough to do was to buy 5 guys. We're going to try to get enough money to buy 5 guys again. So, we're going to take 1 guy at each of these 2 territories. And we're going to take 1 fighter at each of these 2 territories and see if we can't... take them back. Alright. Well, it was 50-50. One was successful, one was not. Thankfully, at least we got the 2 extra money from Kazakh. We're going to throw our 5 infantry into Russia. And that will be the quick end of Russia round number 6. And I'll see you guys back for United Kingdom round number 6. Alright, United Kingdom round number 6. So Germany bought 2 artilleries, 2 tanks, and 10 infantry because they have tons of money. They are totally stacked on the front line here, and they've been moving massive troops. So they already moved 10 troops into Karelia. They moved another 12 in the Baltic. They got 15 in Germany. They recaptured France and Northwestern. I do not have the economic capability to keep pumping out troops to try to combat this. I figure Russia falls in maybe 2 turns. So I have to do some kind of drastic stuff, I guess. I calculated India, and I'm going to hold it for 1 more turn before I abandon India. But in order for me to do that, I need to take Burma. So, and then I'm going to set up for what's going to be kind of a tricky move. It's going to be hard, but we're going to try it anyway. So I'm going to take this. It's free. And then we're going to take 3 guys. Our bombers and our fighters. and try to take Burma out. If we take Burma out, then he can only attack with 2 fighters. So the other fighters won't have a landing zone. 2 of them will have an aircraft carrier, and the other 2 will not, because they're up here in West Russia. So it's pretty essential that we take this. But like I said, after this turn, we're going to back out, because we have to, all hands got to head towards Russia if it lasts this next German turn, which I don't know if it will. I'm hoping it will, but we'll see. I'm not sure it will. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take France and Northwestern. So we're going to take a tank and 3 guys, and let's go 1 guy. And we're going to hit France. We're going to take this cruiser here. Why can't I go here and bombard? I want to go to 14 and bombard. Okay, let me try this. Why can't I go here to bombard? It's got to be from the same sea zone that I attacked to, I wonder. All right, well, if that's the case, let's do this. It looks like we can only bombard from the sea zone we attack from. So that's fine. So let's take the tank. Wait, let's cancel this out. We'll take the tank. Take 1 guy. And then we'll go to Sea Zone 14. And we'll drop them in France. Then we'll take this cruiser and we'll go to 14 and we'll bombard France. Then we will take 1 fighter. 1 fighter. And attack France. We'll take the other one to Northwestern. We will take 2 guys from there. We'll go there. We'll use this cruiser to bombard. We'll take the other 2 guys, load them up, and drop them in France. Right? I think that's right. All right. Okay. Our purchases this turn were 6 infantry, 3 artilleries, and a fighter. And that was because we're going to have to replace the 3 infantry that we attacked Burma with, and the fighter's going to go on the aircraft carrier in Sea Zone 14. He's got his planes kind of thin. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So we really only have to worry about those 2 fighters. The bomber, I think, can get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the bomber can get there. But by the time German turn moves, all the USA stuff's going to be in 14 anyway. So we'll be okay there. I think that's all we want to do. Right? I think that's all we want to do. All right, let's run the combat. All right, the combat was awesome. We lost 2 infantry. So for the non-com, our planes go back to India and our bombers go back to India. Our artillery is going to move forward. Our aircraft carrier is going to move to 14. One of these fighters is going to go down to 14. Our other fighter is going to go to Sea Zone 8. One of our destroyers is going to go to Sea Zone 14. All right. The math is quick. If he wants to use his bombers on it, it's got a 95% to hold. So, with just one fighter. So we're going to do it. So we'll have a cruiser, an aircraft carrier, a destroyer, and a fighter. All right. All right. We're going to throw our fighter in Sea Zone 8. We'll throw 3 infantry into India. We'll throw 3 infantry and 3 artillery into United Kingdom. All right. That's going to be the end of United Kingdom round number 6, and I'll see you guys back for USA round 6. All right. United States round number 6. So Japan bought 2 artilleries, a fighter, 5 infantry, and 2 tanks. He deployed some in East Indies, some in mainland Japan. He stacked Burma, and then he sent 2 bombers to bomb Russia, and he lost a bomber, which is nice, but he did 3 IPCs of damage. It doesn't really matter because I think I only have $15. I can only buy 5 guys anyway, so at this point, repairing that is kind of a non-issue. I just need to hold Russia for one more turn. I think I have enough logistically now to set up the Mediterranean shuck, right? So what we're going to do is we went ahead and bought 2 more transports, 4 infantry and 2 artillery. And we're going to take the rest of Africa and set our USA Navy in position so that we can start deploying 10 units every turn into the Caucasus. God willing. This was actually a nice move. He took Persia with a tank from West Russia, so that these 2 tanks, my initial plan was to take these 2 tanks, kill the Caucasus, and then and I'd probably lose a tank or 2, but as it turns out, he was able to take that. So I have to do something which I hate to do because it sucks, and that's use risk planes. I'm going to use a bomber and our 3 USA fighters, and just hope we don't lose. You know, if we lose one, hopefully it's just the bomber. And the reason for that is I just don't want Germany buying 4 infantry there this next turn, and I don't want to take anything out of Russia if I don't have to. If I have to take 1 infantry to take it back, that's okay. I'll take 1 infantry to take it back. I really hate to do that, and if he gets more than 1 hit, it kind of really sucks for us, but I think that's what we have to do. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 tanks and our 2 infantry. We're going to go up to 14. We're going to take Libya. We're going to take our 3 artillery and our 3 infantry. We're going to go to 14. Take Libya. We're going to take our 2 infantry and our 4 infantry. We're going to go to 13, take Morocco. We're going to take these to 13, take Morocco. We're not going to use these tanks to kill the Persian guy because we're going to have to bounce. I think that he's got enough now that he can take India no matter what I put in it. And so this turn we're going to bounce out of India. So I'm going to use the infantry and the planes to kill this guy. And then we're going to roll the tanks into the Caucasus. Oh man, you know what? I don't think I can't do that. Oh man. Well, yeah, I can't do that because I want to roll the I really don't want to lose any tanks right here. Because Germany's bound to take that back. But then we can hit it with USA. We're going to take it back with USA anyway. Yeah. We're going to take it back with USA. So we won't be able to run the English tanks in there, which is kind of sucks. I would like to get... It'd be nice if we could land them all, but we're going to be landing 10 USA units in there next turn. And we might actually, if he takes it light like this, be able to use the Brits to take it back, which would be kind of nice. That actually might be not a bad idea. We use the Brits to take it, and then we can move our Americans and stack the shit out of it. So anyway, we'll see how that pans out. But right now, we're just going to try to set up so that we can have a shuck there. This can't attack anything, right? Okay. This is the battle I'm worried about the most. That's really going to suck. Oh well. Man, we lucked out. We lucked out. We did not lose anybody in the attack on the Caucasus, which was fantastic. Put our USA bomber in Russia. Gonna take our 2 American tanks and roll them up there. We'll take this to Egypt. We're probably gonna have to throw a British destroyer here so that Japan just can't hop across and take Africa this turn. We'll throw our sub over here. Alright. Alright, now... Okay, I'll take our 2 aircraft carriers to 14. Our 2 fighters to 14. Our cruiser to 14. Our destroyer to 14. And our other destroyer to 14. Everything will take to 14. Right? I think that's it. All right. I think that's it. Okay. All right, we throw our 2 transport. Oh no, we throw 1 transport there and 1 transport there. We throw 2 infantry in Brazil, and then 2 there and 2 air. Right? Right. All right. All right, that'll be it for the USA round number 6, and we'll move on to Russia round 7. All right, Russia round 7. Russia's turn is pretty simple. We just went ahead and bought 4 infantry. That's all we could afford. We're going to take 1 guy, take the Caucasus, just so Germany can't produce 4 infantry there this turn. And then we are going to be done. Really small turn. All right. We're not moving anybody. And we're going to put 4 infantry in the Caucasus. We have 22 6 planes and a bomber and an AA gun against, let's see, 9 infantry, 3 tanks, and artillery, 4 planes. These planes, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't get there. 4 planes and a bomber. I think we can hold that. I didn't run the numbers because really there's nothing else I can do about it. I'm not going to leave Russia at this point in the game. So, that's it. I got no money, but like I said, in round 7, we're going to land 10 Americans in the Caucasus, and we're also going to be set up to land. It'll take 2 turns, so we're going to land 10 this turn. Then the transports will go back. We'll land 10 in round 10, and we'll see if we can get it up to where we can do it every single turn. I don't know if we can do it. Let's keep buying transports and guys and see if we can get as many units as possible and as many Americans as possible into the Caucasus. So we're gonna try it. If I had to give my verdict on the Brazilian IC right now, I would say it's kind of a bust, but maybe I'm not using it properly. Maybe I should have bought infantry and artillery instead of tanks. So I'll have to see. Jury's still out, but Russia's in a bad way. So that'll be it for Russia round 7. I'll see you guys back for UK round number 7. All right, United Kingdom round number 7. So Germany bought 10 more infantry, 3 artilleries and a tank. Or 2 artilleries and a tank. I think it was 3. He took France back and took Northwestern back. And he took the Caucasus. Heavy. Well, I guess it is heavy because then he slid everything down here because he's going to stack. So I only have a couple more turns before Russia is dead. However, this is going to be an interesting turn for us because we're going to leave India now and we're going to head for Germany and try to hit it with as much stuff as we can. Our big problem is that in C-Zone 8, because we split our fleets now, our defenses are slim. C-Zone 8 can be hit by 6 fighters, 2 from Germany, 4 from Karelia, and a bomber. That's not going to last, so we have to beef that up or take both of these 2 territories again so that only the 2 fighters and the bomber can hit this, which is what we're going to try to do. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to lose India. One of the things I want to prevent from happening is having the Japanese grab this transport, bounce over here to Africa, and take Egypt or start landing in Africa. So we're going to throw a destroyer here in 35, even though the territory is going to be abandoned, just to block that until we get some reinforcements here. It's going to look like we're threatening because we're going to move our 5 tanks to trans this turn, so it's going to look like we're threatening, or we're going to move maybe 3 of them to trans. I don't know. Yeah, maybe 3 of them because we already have 4 tanks here. All right. I lied. We're not going to completely abandon India. We're going to throw a couple infantry in there just to make it so where he has to send more than one guy to take it. Give him something to think about. And then we're going to move our UK fleet into 16 to prepare for the USA landing into the Caucasus. If he wants to throw his Japanese planes into the Caucasus, it's going to make my attack difficult, but I think I can still wipe it all. And if he wants to sacrifice all the Japanese Air Force, I think I'll be okay with that. So for now, that's not going to be the case. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab this transport. We're going to go up here. We're going to grab one artillery. And one infantry. And we're going to hit Northwestern. And we're going to bombard Northwestern. And we're going to use one fighter on Northwestern. We're going to take these two artilleries, these two guys. We're going to hit France. We're going to take this fighter and this fighter. Alright, I don't want to use it to bombard because I want to use him for C-Zone 16. So we're not going to do it. This is going to be a tough battle. Actually wondering if I should just switch that up and just use the fighter. And don't bombard. And bombard France instead. Now we got 2 fighters and 4 units, so that's fine. We'll do that. All right. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to take our 6 guys, these 4 fighters, these 2 bombers, and attack the tank there. And let's see. Before we do that, let me just check one thing. Okay, cannot hit the transport, so let's do this here. Alright. Alright. I think that's it. These battles are pretty important. Pretty important. So let's do them. Alright, that worked out really well. We took all the territories we needed to take, and we did not lose that many stuff. So, this fighter is going to go back to C-Zone 8. Hang on a second here. We've got to look at these fighters. Oh, they both have the same number of moves. So this one here can go to C-Zone 8. This one here is going to go to 16. Our aircraft carrier is going to go to 16. Our destroyer. And our cruiser. One of these fighters is going to 16. 3 of them are going to Russia. Our bombers are going to go to Russia. Our anti-air gun will go up to Persia. Our 5 tanks will go We'll send 3 tanks to Trans and 2 tanks into Persia. This lone infantry will go to Egypt. Our artillery will go to Egypt. Actually, no. He's going to stay there. Artillery's going to stay there this turn. Let's see here. Because he can hit this with what? How many fighters? 1. Well, he'd have to go there to do that. He'd have to kill this and then go over there. Which he could do. He wants to risk his fighters against 6 planes. Against 6 guys. You really want to lose your risk your fighters? Alright. Alrighty. Alright, let's look at Sea Zone 14 and see what's in there now. Okay, the destroyer's left and the cruiser left. And the aircraft carrier left. Okay. Let's go to 16. Look at this. Destroyer, 2 fighters, a cruiser, and an aircraft carrier. Okay. So that's good. So I think that's everything. Alright, mobilization. We are going to put 2 guys and a destroyer in India. I know it's a waste and it's going to be done, but we'll put a destroyer in Sea Zone 8 and 6 infantry into United Kingdom. I just want to make sure that he can attack this with 2 infantry and a bunch of planes. I don't think that's gonna die, but if he wants to risk planes on that, I guess more power to him. Alright. Alright, that's going to be the end of United Kingdom round number 7. And I'll see you guys back for United States round 7. Alright, United States round number 7. So Japan bought 8 infantry, 2 tanks, and a fighter, and mobilized the tanks to East Indies and the men and the fighter to Japan. He did the Alaska play because I moved my bomber out of the western United States or eastern United States, so I had no defense here. So I figured he'd put the fighters and the bomber in here. And that got his defense up to, it was like a 63% battle for me as USA to take this. But I neglected, I should have killed his 2 infantry in Kazakh, and I guess his tank came down from, not sure where the tank went. Came down from maybe Szechuan? But in any case, he was able to reinforce it even more. So this battle now is a 20% battle. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't see any other way out of it. I have to snap him out of here from Russia. This game's probably over because I made the mistake there. All I did was buy some more transports, 5 more infantry and a fighter for Western United States just to defend against this stupid thing here, and then try to keep my non-existent shut going here. It's a pretty failed effort, but we're gonna go ahead and attack the Caucasus with everything that we have. So we're going to take our wait a minute. Go to 16, drop them in there. We're going to take our cruiser and bombard our fighters and attack. And then the other silly thing we're going to do is we're going to just sack our 3 transports and try to take Italy. Give them something extra to trade, and really not a lot we can do there, but so I calculated, if the calculator is correct, in the first round of battle he should lose 9 infantry. So if we can retreat our planes and only lose a handful of land stuff, we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to hit it with Russia. So he's got the extra 2 infantry and the 1 tank, and that made all the difference. It made it into a 21% battle instead of a 60% in my favor. So that was a terrible miscalculation by me. So anyway, we're going to run this. It's pretty atrocious, but we're going to run it anyway and see what we can do with it. Well, that calculator was way off. Wow. All right. So our aircraft carrier, our destroyers are not going to move there. They're going to move there. Aircraft carriers, if I can, are going to move there. We're going to put 4 fighters on it, move a fighter back to Russia, and the bomber is going to go. We'll put it in Egypt. No, we won't put it in Egypt because it's going to die there too. The bomber will go. And we'll put it in Soviet Union. All right. Let's see what else we're gonna do. Our sub's gonna go to 17. Actually, no. Our sub will go. Yeah, we'll put it in 17. And then we will move these guys up here. We will grab a tank and a guy. Go to 17, drop him in Morocco. We'll take an artillery and a guy. Go to 13, drop it in Morocco. And that will be it for that. We're going to throw a transport in 22. We're going to throw a fighter, 5 infantry in the western United States. All right, that's going to be it for... That's going to be it for the United States. We move on to Russia's round 8. And we're going to take 22 dudes and 2 fighters and see what we can get. Oh, that's fucking insane. Wow, that's pretty amazing. That is amazing that all 24 units missed on round 1 of combat. All 24. 0 hits. And we got, I don't know, 7 return fires. Oh, man. That's pretty bad. Alright. We're about to lose this game. So, far be it from me to let my opponent not have the satisfaction of taking Moscow. So, that's the end of Russia round 8. And I'll see you guys back for United Kingdom round number 8. Alright, United Kingdom round number 8. So we're winding down this game pretty much because of our failed usage on our IC in Brazil, which I have some thoughts on that in the end. Germany did not take Russia. I think he's just waiting around for for Japan to take it. He did take back northwestern France and Italy. And so we are going to try to take some stuff back. All we did was we bought a transport, a destroyer, 3 infantries, and 3 artilleries. So for the combat, we're going to send 2 guys there. And all these fighters. And these bombers. We're going to send our 3 tanks there. 4 guys. And then we're going to take 2 of these guys. Go to 14. Drop them in France. Take our cruiser. Go to 14. Bombard France. Take our fighters. Attack France. Take the other 4 of these. Pick them up. Attack France. Take our other cruiser, bombard France, take our 2 fighters, and attack France. Alright. As long as we take France, these fighters will be out of the equation for Japan to hit this. I really don't see a path to victory right now, but I'm going to at least let the guy take Russia before I forfeit. So here we go. All right. Alright, anti-aircraft gun goes to India. Our 2 tanks are going to Russia. Fighters to Russia. Bombers to Morocco. No, I don't want to put the bombers in Morocco because the USA is going to move before. Now we'll put them back in Russia. And our aircraft carrier is going to go to 14 with our 2 of our fighters. And then 2 of our fighters will go back to Sea Zone 8. And then this guy will move back to Egypt. Everything else will stay. Right? Yeah. Alright. Destroyer. Transport. 3 infantry. And 3 artillery. Going to United Kingdom. And that's the end of United Kingdom round number 8. And I'll see you guys back for USA round 8. Alright, United States round number 8. So, Japan bought 7 infantries, 3 artilleries, and a transport or a fighter? Wait a minute. a fighter. 7 infantry, 3 artillery, a transport, and a fighter. They retook India, which we thought they would. They took Hawaii, which I wasn't paying attention. They took Hawaii. And they landed 6 of their fighters in Italy to preclude me from taking that back. So, like I said, this game is pretty much probably out of reach. But like I said, I'm going to let them take Moscow before I forfeit. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take Alaska back. And then we are going to do some funky stuff. So we are going to take an artillery and an infantry. Go to 15 and take Southern Europe. We're going to take a tank and an infantry. Go to C Zone 8 and hit that. We're going to use our bomber and hit Northwestern. Let's see here. I think that's everything. Yep, I think that's everything. Did I say what we bought? Oh yeah, we bought a couple more transports, 2 artilleries, a cruiser, and a bomber. And that's all to go back in the Pacific and take Hawaii back, and then I don't know, maybe we'll snipe the Philippines if we can. But he's got nothing here. His whole fleet is over here in India, so now's a good time for that. So strong. All right. Alright, combat was effective. We didn't lose anybody. I always find it hilarious when fighters miss and infantry hit. So that was pretty funny. Alright, we are going to go and pick up a tank. And a guy. And we're going to go up to C Zone 10. We're going to take the other one and go... Wait a minute. Take the other one and go to C Zone 11. Doesn't have a bomber there. Doesn't have a bomber there. He put the bomber in Germany. Our bomber here is going to go to England. We are going to send our transports, our cruiser, our 4 planes, and our 2 aircraft carriers there. We'll send our destroyers back to 15. Only good thing about this is he has a lot of stuff to trade. The very, very bad thing is that I don't have anything to keep threatening, so it's going to be pretty short work. Alright, so we moved all that. And then we're going to mobilize a cruiser, 2 transports, 2 artilleries, and a bomber into the western United States. And that will be done. That's the end of America, round number 8. So for Russia, we're just going to buy 3 infantry. Right? All right. And then we're going to try... Alright, let's do this. Let's do a very, very risky attack. Actually, not there. We'll do it here. Take 1 guy and we'll do 2 fighters. And we'll see if we can't kill this without losing any fighters. I know it's... we got to hope that it goes a couple rounds without hitting. So... Or that we get the 2 fighters hitting in the 1 turn. So let's try it. Alright, we took a shot, didn't work. To dislodge, maybe get a couple more bucks. But that didn't work. So we're simply going to throw our 3 infantry into Russia. And collect our $8. So we have $9 to buy 3 more infantry next turn. If we have a next turn, which I don't think we will. But it is what it is. So that's going to be the end of Russia round 9. And I'll see you guys back for United Kingdom round number 9. Alright, United Kingdom round number 9. So Germany bought 7 infantry and 6 artilleries. He took back all these territories that I took from him, and then he stacked West Russia, put 4 artilleries in the Caucasus. This is going to be dead very soon. So I'm going to flee, I think, and let Japan take it. Although, I don't think it matters, really. I don't really need to. Who knows? Maybe I'll save my fighters. Alright, all I did was buy 4 infantry and 4 artillery to reload my 4 transports. And we're going to take 1 artillery. I'm going to go into C-Zone 5, take Norway. We're going to take 1 infantry, go into C-Zone 5, take Finland, or take Karelia. We'll take 1 infantry, go into C-Zone 5, take Finland. We'll take our transport here, go into C-Zone 8, pick up an artillery. And an infantry. Hit France. Swing our cruiser over here, bombard, fighters are going there. 1. These fighters will go in there. Actually, I kind of want to take them and kill these fighters, as many as I can. But I don't think I can kill any of them. And we're going to lose these fighters, so do that. We'll take this. Our 2 bombers. Take Transjordan back. And that is going to be it. Alright, so our non-com. Move our aircraft carrier to 5, our 3 destroyers to 5, our cruiser to 5. Oh, stupid me, I bombarded. So that didn't work out. That was kind of dumb. That was really dumb. Alrighty. Put them back in Russia. Even though they're going to be dead, I'm going to put them in Russia. All right. All right. Oh, he can kill a lot of stuff. All right. That was no bueno. Really no bueno. But it is what it is. So that'll be the end of UK round number 9, and I'll see you guys back for USA round number 9. All right, welcome back. This is the end of the game. So I went ahead and forfeited. It was just taking way too long. And Joel was just being methodical, I guess, by all of his moves. I thought he was going to take Russia with Japan. He had more than enough stuff, I thought, to take it. But maybe not. But it was just a matter of time. I could have taken Hawaii back. But on my attack, the attack power lead was like 100. No. Actually, it was 72. 72 attack power lead, and I really had no material with which to do anything. So basically, the lessons from the game, besides the fact that Joel was platinum, so I would recommend not trying off the wall strategies with against platinum players. Now, I had no idea that Joel was platinum when I started the game until the game was over. But the Brazil IC strategy, basically putting an industrial complex in Brazil and then shuffling over 2 tanks and an infantry for the first 5 turns, basically was a waste of resources for multiple reasons. Spent about a third of United States' income every turn just to get 3 units into Africa. Plus, with the initial outlay of 15, if I just bought 2 more transports, well, the whole point was to be more efficient, right? So to use less transports to shuffle over guys, but realistically, I could have used those extra IPCs to do more of a push against Europe, which I needed to do because, again, and I hate this, and I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. I have to decide. I hate leaving the Pacific. I hate it. It just lets Japan just do whatever the hell they want, and they don't even have to think about anything else. And so, I just don't like it. But it's never been much of a successful strategy to split your navies and go, half in the Atlantic, half in the Pacific. It doesn't pay to do that. So I may just, from here on out, when I'm the Allies, just go all in on the Pacific. Depending on, obviously, the results of Season 7 from UK. A lot of stuff depends on Russia 1, UK 1. This game, I failed to take Ukraine, and he had an extra fighter, if I remember correctly. Let me go back to round 1. Russia. Yeah, I didn't take Ukraine. And he still had a plane there. And that just set me back tremendously. And so after that happened, I still tried I was able to save my fleet in Season 30, as I predicted. He did attack it with Japan, but I got lucky dice, and my carrier and one of my cruisers survived, I think. And so I was able to eventually shuffle it over here to make some use. The Medshuk was not successful because of my blunder here that I didn't anticipate him landing the Japanese land units. I would have had 65% chance to take it with the United States, even if he had the Japanese fighters there, had I not miscalculated the land units from Japan. So that's on me. It was an interesting game, to say the least. For a while, I thought I was back and forth, but really, if you looked at the board, I wasn't making any headway trying to move through Africa. And Russia was out of the game within 3 turns. And they could do nothing. So I'm still working on a lot.